Hi, Zeus. Hi, Zeus. Good boy, Zeus. Good boy. Good boy. Hi. Boy. Hey, Zeus. Hey. Hey. Okay, this is Zeus. And he's 4 months old. We just got him in 5 days ago. He's had no training at all, except in the last 5 days I have been trying to do a little house training and crate training. He doesn't know any commands. He might know the word come a little bit, and he might know the word no a little bit. But really the only command he knows is let's go outside, let's go home, and potty. He understands what these words mean. He's not house trained completely yet, but he does know that he's supposed to go outside. What we're going to be doing this morning is we're going to try to do a little loose leash walking at heel. He's never had a leash on before, so I'm just letting him walk around with this leash on just so that he gets used to it. 5 days ago when he came to me, that's the first time he had a collar on. We just have a regular collar on. There's no choker here, no martingale even, just a regular soft collar. Trying to build up his confidence because he came to us with a lack of confidence. He was a little bit in conditions that really weren't that great, and he didn't trust human beings too much, so he was a little bit shy. He's still on the soft side, and he may always be. I don't know, that might be his disposition. I haven't been able to determine yet if it's just the environment he came from or if it's his disposition. So at least at this point, all of the training needs to be really much more on the soft side than anything else. My training with all dogs is positive reinforcement training with what I call dog psychology corrections. You'll see when I go for a walk with him now on the leash, I may make some gentle tugs to pull him back in the right spot. I use the leash as a steering wheel. I like to call it directional, not necessarily correctional, especially with a dog like this. Some dogs are a little bit more aggressive or hard, and you might have to give maybe a little bit more of a directional tug or correction maybe in that case. But this guy, he's soft, and it's just really a steering wheel to direct him. Also, I'll be using the command heel, and you'll probably hear me say heel many times, which is contradictory to what a lot of trainers might tell you. You don't say heel, 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 because then the dog learns that as the command. But and that's correct. But in this particular case, I'll probably be using that word over and over again just so that he understands that it's actually a command. Once he understands that that's the command, the word heel, then I will only use the word once and expect the dog to listen to me. For the positive reinforcement training that's mostly common to most people, they use a treat. And the treat is used as a lure to get the dog to perform the wanted behavior. And I'm not opposed to that, but I like the dog to perform the wanted behaviors simply out of the joy of wanting to please me. So I try not to use a treat as a lure. I use a treat more as a reward for doing a good job. I use the treat more as a token of my appreciation that the dog did what I wanted him to do, and I'm happy that he performed so nicely. It's because I like the dog and the dog likes me that I give him a treat. And it's usually at a moment in time that's separated from the actual training, so that there really is no link between the actual performance, the actual command that I was working with, and the treat that I do end up giving him. So you can see this guy, he's really a pleaser. He really just is a lover. So we're going to try to do a little loose leash walking now. As soon as he's done scratching that itch. Good boy. Come on. Come on, Zeus. Heel. Heel. Good boy. Heel. Heel. Good boy. Heel. 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 Good boy. He wants to go back over to this side along the edge of the grass. He doesn't understand that right now he's supposed to be at my left-hand side. So he's going back towards the edge of the grass here, where he walks that heel pretty nicely. Come on, heel. 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 You can see when I turn, he still wants to come back over to this side. So I'm going to direct him with the steering wheel. Heel. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Heel. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Now I'm going to talk for a minute here and separate the time from the actual learning. You can see I only did it a couple of times up and down the driveway here. You don't want to overtrain any dog, but especially a puppy, and especially one that's a little on the soft side. You don't want to spend too much time with one particular training moment. If you can do 10 of them for 5 minutes a day, that's great, versus one for 50 minutes a day, especially in the beginning. The name of my training business is called Always Be Training, and I say know your ABTs and know your ABCs, just like when we were kids. Know your alphabet. The ABCs is always be consistent. The ABTs is always be training. And that's because your dog, no matter how old he or she is always learning. Everything that you do, every movement that you make, every word that you say, your dog is actually taking that in and learning from it. And the more consistent you are, the more the quicker and easier he'll pick it up. And that includes a bad habit. So when you're in the house and you're cooking and you leave some butter on the counter, your dog is actually learning that there's that butter, and when I get to be big enough, I'm going to be able to reach the top of that counter and steal that butter. And your movements and your motions and how you train the dog along that process will determine whether or not the dog is actually going to make that attempt someday. So you need to always be training. Always be training. Know your ABTs and be consistent. What a great little puppy this guy is, eh? 4 months old, no training at all, came from a bad environment. Good boy. That's it for now.